This is my reaction to Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival: The Dark Age of Nintendo by Scatt. This is a key game reaction, by the way. I was just going to react to Ziplash, but comment on that video said I had to react to all three of them. So I'm going to react to this one, and then after I'm going to react to Ultra Smash. Both in one video, so here we go.
So, tell me where it all began.
Well, I've been depressed ever since.
Alright. Hi, my name is Scott, and I'm not an alcoholic.
You are addicted to Man 08 though, but I'm T.
Thank God. I always hated those. I always fell out of place. I wish they would make them more accessible to non-alcoholics.
Yeah.
You're stalling.
I'm sitting.
We can do this the easy way or the hard way.
I'm paying you.
With a coupon.
You don't know what it's like to go to therapy.
Hey, I got.
And you don't know what it's like to text a bit. Well, yeah, no,
You're
he
a
does.
therapist. Where do you go to therapy?
The mirror.
Hashtag relatable.
I'll start at my desk.
Yeah.
Hey y'all, Scott here.
He said the
Is
same.
this the first time you introduce yourself like that, or is this a recurring thing?
Usually every Sunday.
Say, do you want me to play 3 of Nintendo's worst games of all time to end up wasting thousands of dollars in therapy?
That was some incredible foresight.
I plan my year ahead of time. Picture
Cool.
this. Making bad games. It's
Oh.
like making bad water. It's almost impossible. But some people just can't help themselves. Almost every video game company has stumbled
Yeah,
at some
Jesus
point,
Christ,
whether
Baller
they had
Man.
to rush a title
Oh.
for release or just weren't focused enough during development. Mistakes happen, and one bad or misguided game doesn't mean an entire studio's talentless or doomed. Just because Sega made one
Yeah.
doesn't mean they'll make another one
Yeah.
anytime soon. Bad example, but regardless of how many stinkers are put out each and every year, people will always hold certain developers and publishers in the highest regards. These studios can
Like
never make a bad
Sega.
game. They always
I still
push for
like
quality,
Sega.
They always care about their
Sonic
products, and they will
Generations,
never be disappointed
Sonic
in
Lost
what they
World.
make. One of these companies is Nintendo.
Nintendo, wait.
Widely believed to put out nothing but quality titles. I finally figured out what this statement is.
Blatant
Listen, I love this
lie.
company. Nintendo is my favorite game studio of all time. I love most of their games. Their
Sega,
developers, their philosophies,
I
their
mean,
style,
Nintendo
their
do
history.
what
They are,
Sega
to
don't.
me, the
Release
most
good
interesting
consoles.
player in the video game industry. And their level of quality since their inception has yet to be matched. It's simply astonishing how time and time again they've been able to create so many experiences that are considered genre-defining, and consistently at that. From the original Super Mario Bros. In 1985 to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild in 2017, they've
Yeah.
been the studio
That was
to
the
look up to.
last Wii U game.
But there's sort of a misconception
Then you
about
have
that
Zero.
Nintendo doesn't make bad games. The idea many push that Nintendo
Oh,
always
shit.
puts the most quality possible into each and every game they release. They never rush things. They never go for quick cash grabs. That is hilarious. Will you be here all week? I love
No.
this company, but I'm more than
I wanna
willing to point
die.
out their
Oh,
shortcomings.
hey, look at that.
One year I felt that harder than any other year. 2015.
Yes.
This was during the Wii U and Nintendo 3DS era.
The best eras.
Renaissance.
No, I
They're
mean,
strongest in terms of sales and revenue. And Nintendo's handheld business has
serious?
always been their most successful. And while the 3DS was doing well, it wasn't nearly as big of a breakout hit as the Nintendo DS or Game Boy line of systems.
Yeah.
And then there was the Wii U, also known as what? Yeah, that wasn't doing
also
well,
known
so
as
Nintendo
the
decided,
fuck.
"F it, let's give up." Up until
Yeah.
this point, investors
Let's
seemed to hug
just.
on the company
Oh,
for
hey,
a
look
bit
at
to put
that.
titles on
It's
smartphones. Their idea
Mario,
was,
as
Angry
it
Birds is
usually
doing
has
it,
to
why
be.
not Starfy? But Nintendo was always stern about keeping their games on their devices, especially considering mobile gaming was a threat to dedicated handhelds like the
Yeah.
3DS. However, in March of 2015, the company officially announced that sinning was on the schedule. It just made sense to develop mobile games.
Yeah.
But this time, the 3DS was mostly appealing to just core fans, and the
Yeah.
Wii U appealed to just me. Nintendo's brand wasn't as widely
Okay, that's weird.
recognizable as it could be in this era, so
There was no
decided,
Man 08
let's
on the
make a
Wii.
Mario Kart game for smartphones in 2019. But does
Yeah,
this switch to
also
mobile
let's
games mean
fill it
Nintendo's
with
going to put an end to console
microtransactions.
development?
Maybe they'll buy it.
No, because they announced development of a future console at the same time, the Nintendo NX.
Which
So
is
that
a
meant in
swap.
2015, not only were Wii U and 3DS titles being developed, but mobile and NX games as well. Nintendo was obviously being stretched a bit thin here.
Oh, hey,
Nintendo
look, it's
NX
the
wasn't
horrible
going to be
game
released
known
until
as,
March of
do you
2017,
want
but
to
they
play
were
a game?
working
Well,
on it
too
in the
bad,
background to ensure
suffer.
this doesn't happen again. But they
Yep.
still had to put out Wii U and 3DS games, and with some of their titles getting delayed a bit from a 2015 launch,
Yeah.
they had to scramble. They had to whip up games that reused old assets,
Frozen
had
Time.
little content to them, or were just ungodly simple so they could have products to sell that year. This went on from 2015 to 2016. Low quality spin-offs that barely anybody wanted, or games that showed promise that ended up completely under-delivering. I'd say 2016 had less going
that
on,
game was
but
solid.
overall the amount of titles released wasn't that high, and the quality...
Okay, I can say I have played the original Twilight Princess on Wii. I've played Pokemon Tournament DX. I've played Star Fox 64 3D. I haven't played those 3 games. I played Paper Jam, and that was really good.
Wasn't much
That was
higher,
a solid game
but
to
this
me.
problem started the year
Oh, hey,
prior.
look at
It
that.
was weird because 2015 no doubt had some great games developed
Yep.
and or published by Nintendo. Splatoon, Super Mario Maker, Yoshi's Woolly World, Xenoblade Chronicles X, but we also had Devil's Third, Pokemon Super Mystery Dungeon, Mario Party
I thought
10,
that
Mario
game was
vs.
good.
Donkey Kong Tipping Stars, Animal Crossing Happy Home Designer, Little Battlers Experience, Amiibo Tap, The Legend of Zelda, Triforce Heroes, Codename Steam, all getting anywhere from mixed to negative reception from critics and fans alike. The Triforce Heroes and Happy Home Designer were okay in my opinion. Devil's Third had its moments, and I always put Mario Party 10 on the shelf like this. I never want to see those 3 words together.
Yeah, like, my name is Ivan. Deathstroke's favorite swing technique. Deathstroke is also favorite DC character. You get it if you watch Game
These
Grumps.
games, well, not terrible, just didn't have the same level of quality as what I came to expect from Nintendo.
Yeah.
It felt a bit soulless in one way or another. Like, these weren't made because, oh, we want to do this. Instead, more like, oh, we need a Zelda game this year.
Yeah.
However, there were 3 games released in 2015 I believe to be nearly irredeemable. Some of the biggest mistakes Nintendo...
You can see the middle one. Hold on, let me just make it much brighter. Hold on. You can see the first 2. I mean, obviously the first one, Chibi Robo Zip Flash. I mean, you can see the first 2 if you look hard enough.
made. Games I consider to make up the dark age of Nintendo.
Yeah.
Big deal.
That is the best thing a therapist could say to me.
You shouldn't let the products of a multi-billion-dollar children's company affect your mental health.
You don't understand. I have to play most Luigi-based products. Well, I think
Sorry
it's a good
about
time
that.
to practice anything but sobriety, so let's take a look at 3 of Nintendo's worst games of all time, which, weirdly enough, all released within 2 months of each other.
Yeah?
First one we should tackle is Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival, The Rise of the Machines.
But I'm cheap. Ah!
So a little backstory.
Jesus
Animal
Christ.
Crossing.
Animal Crossing.
Collect stuff to get money to pay off your loan to buy
Yes,
more stuff. It's
yes.
depressing. This is what life is. Why do I like this? Truth be told, I am far from
Now I
being
feel
one
the
of
exact
bigger Animal
same.
Crossing fans
I'm
out there.
just
It's not
depressed.
that I don't like the series, far from it. I just haven't played each entry to death like many others
Yeah.
have. But the games I have played are so relaxing and cozy. They're just fun to boot up, run a few little errands, turn it off, and depress for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
There was a bit of criticism directed towards the series for a while there, though. See, it initially released on the Nintendo 64 in Japan only. That
What?
version made its way to the GameCube worldwide with a few extra enhancements, but
Why?
it was still the same game at heart. Then when Wild World came to the DS, many
Yeah.
noted it was pretty similar to the GameCube one with a few enhancements added. City Folk released on the Wii, and it was pretty similar to the DS one with a few enhancements added. Where were the changes? Go back! These games kept
Yeah,
adding
that's a
on to each
moment
other,
of
but
fuck
not
go
enough
back.
for some to be all too thrilled. But then New Leaf for the 3DS
But then you
came out,
became the
and it
mayor.
changed up enough to be a breath of fresh air for everybody. You were the mayor of your town. You could change so much about your village. It's the one thing Animal Crossing needed, and they finally did it. Government intervention.
Yes!
New Leaf was a tremendous success, and all signs were pointing to the next iteration of Animal Crossing releasing on Wii U around 2015. I mean, it had to happen. Right? I mean,
No.
in 2013, Nintendo released this app called Animal Crossing Plaza on the
Yep.
system. It was all these characters in HD, and you could create Miiverse posts about them for others around the world to read. Considering this free app was made so 3DS owners who played New Leaf could talk about the game only on Wii U, a platform that did not have an Animal Crossing game, was only available for a year until it was discontinued and can no longer be accessed. I smell pointless.
I smell pointlessness.
Showing all these memes and what people are saying about different games. It was that, but for Animal Crossing characters.
Yeah.
Like, you could say, oh, fuck, I love this guy's pants. And then others could respond with, why am I on this app? I think the main takeaway from this thing was that Nintendo produced all these HD quality models of the Animal Crossing characters.
Yeah.
I think it was pretty evident that this was a test when it came to developing an HD game in the series.
Yeah.
However, nothing initially came of this. New Leaf kept selling, Animal Crossing Plaza kept not getting used, and all was
Yep.
right with the world.
That was a-
Then in 2014, Nintendo announced and released Amiibo figures with NFC
Yep,
chips in their face
link.
that allowed you to scan them into supported games via the Wii U gamepad and eventually the 3DS to play with the character or unlock extra goodies. It launched with Super Smash Bros. For Wii U and was a tremendous success.
I
And
want
because
training
there was all
Amiibo.
characters, Smash Brothers as a crossover of every series
Yep.
under the sun, so everybody was interested in the line to some extent. This meant in
Now,
the
if only
following
we
year,
had a
Nintendo
Waluigi
released the
Amiibo.
Plastic. More lines of amiibo like Super Mario,
Yeah,
Splatoon,
yeah,
Yoshi's Woolly World
yeah.
were all put out and did very well. But the actual use of these things in games was
Mhm.
always non-essential. In Smash Brothers, you could scan
Yeah.
a figure to fight it,
Yep.
raise it, and level it up as your own little Smash Brothers prodigy. That was pretty much the furthest they ever went with implementing it. Mario Party 10, you'd use them in Amiibo Party mode where you scan an
Yep.
amiibo to roll the dice.
Yep,
Yoshi's Woolly
that's a
World and
throw
Mario Maker,
moment.
You could scan a bunch of different ones to get costumes, which was awesome, but not all amiibo were supported.
That's
in
a
every
white
game. It was
Yoshi.
kind of up in the air which amiibo would be supported in which games. So I think we were all expecting a game to be released
Toonling
that took
Golmar.
full advantage of amiibo, a game that couldn't exist without it. We should have known better. But in the back of
Fuck
everybody's
a pack.
mind, we were also thinking another thing: new Animal Crossing game for Wii U with Animal Crossing amiibo support. It was
Yeah.
so perfect. It just had to happen. Animal
Hold on, let
Crossing
me pause this real quick. Okay,
was
sorry
again
about that.
so focused on collecting in hundreds of different characters.
Yes.
Introducing figures, that just made a ton of sense.
Yeah.
Well, Nintendo jumped on this fairly quickly. In April of
Nintendo
2015,
was
we got
like,
Animal Crossing Amiibo
let's
cards
fuck
announced
up them
alongside a spin-off
childhoods.
title for 3DS, Happy
Yeah.
Home Designer. This was a sign. They were building up to a Wii U game. I could smell it, and Happy Home Designer would interact with it somehow. They weren't pulling a fast one on me. I eat virginity for breakfast. I get these things.
I
E3
eat
2015 came
nothing.
around. Guess what leaked beforehand? Boom. Animal Crossing Amiibo figures. It was happening.
Yep.
Nintendo's E3 2015 digital event kicked off halfway through. A Happy Home Designer trailer played, then those glorious
Cool.
words "world premiere" flew up on screen. It cuts to a Wii U gamepad. Holy shit. And an Animal Crossing figure gets scanned onto it. Holy shit!
Yeah,
Animal
that's a
Crossing's
holy
on
shit
Wii U. I
moment.
called it. I called it!
How did they fuck up so bad? How did they fuck up so fucking bad? Oh. Yep, that's a moment.
So you got incredibly depressed over the announcement of a game in a series that you aren't even a huge fan of to begin with in the first place.
Yeah.
That's right.
Who the f*** is this guy?
On
He
your
is
left, you will
the
see no doubt one of the
legendary
worst and
anti-version.
tone-deaf video game announcements of all time. You can't tell me somebody at Nintendo didn't realize what opening a trailer with this shot insinuates.
Yeah.
Nobody goes, oh my god, an Animal Crossing board game? Because that's what it was.
Yo,
A
that'd be
party game
hype
that
though.
used
Like
amiibo
like
figures
one
to
on
roll
like the
dice.
Switch that doesn't do it.
Nearly everybody was disappointed and confused, but while this wasn't what I wanted in the slightest, I had higher.
Yo, they're playing Amiibo Festival on Amiibo Festival. On Amiibo Festival. It was a rainy weekend, which means a video game tournament at home. Damn, that's happening now, but no tournament for us.
Hey, the idea of an
Just
Animal Crossing party
quarantine.
game wasn't bad. That's all it had going for it. The idea wasn't bad. Because, my god, not only was this game's announcement a disappointment, the gameplay shown.
Yeah.
What is this? Later on at E3,
Fucking
tidbits
dumb.
about why the game existed were coming out. One of them being how the developers just wanted a reason for Animal Crossing Amiibo to exist.
Yeah.
I can think of worse reasons for the apocalypse. Another one.
I have
this was just
one.
a Nintendo of America
world
employee
going to
kinda just
shit
talking up the
because
game a bit on the E3
there's
Treehouse
this
stream,
game called the
was that
Chibi
they
Rubber
said it was
Zipline
nice to have
Show.
an Animal
Shit,
Crossing
wait,
game
that's
that
real.
didn't require reading to enjoy. Most of this game is text. So
Yeah,
needless to
most
say,
of
Amiibo
this game
Festival
is
was not
like
received
AI
well.
Dungeon.
It just sort of got
Mostly
announced and then
fucking
released later that
text.
November. Nothing really came out about the game until a Nintendo Direct in November highlighted it. A day before it released, there was
Cool.
a rumor floating around about the game being a free download and you just need to buy an Animal Crossing figure to experience it.
Well,
$60 that I spent.
$60
for this year's Animal
right
Crossing
down
Amiibo
the
Festival. It comes
drain.
in this box with 2 Amiibo figures and
Two
3
Amiibo.
Amiibo cards in this nice little envelope. Now, apparently
Cool.
Digby here was only available for a limited time. Future releases of the bundle wouldn't include him. If only the game sold well enough to warrant them doing that. Amiibo Festival
Bye.
bombed. Stores are still putting it out on clearance to this very day. Like I said,
Cool,
the
I
original
don't have a
plan was
Wii
to
U,
freeze
so
the
I
game
don't
out of the
have to
bundle.
buy
That
it.
never happened
I
because I think
am
stores are still trying to
lucky.
sell the initial batch of the game from 2015. Well, there are other Animal Crossing Amiibo that launched alongside it.
Yeah.
So I might as well nab a few to get the full
Max
experience.
and
I didn't
Ked.
even try, and I own nearly all of them. All I did was go to Five Below, a GameStop, and a quick dabble on eBay, and here we are. Under $60 later, I own pretty much all of these except for Rover, Celeste, and Summer Isabel. These figures also rot in clearance bins. Nintendo definitely
I don't
expected them
know.
to fly off the shelves like
I
the Smash
probably
Bros.
only
line
get a
did,
Tom
but
Nook
they didn't
amiibo
understand
just
that,
for
one,
having
that line
Tom
appealed
Nook.
to everybody because it included dozens
Yo,
of different
playing
game
as
franchises.
non-playable
Animal Crossing,
characters
while
would be
incredibly
so
popular,
hype in a
only
game.
appeals to Animal
Imagine
Crossing fans.
playing as
And
like
two, nobody
Sheik
wanted
or
figures that were
Impa.
only useful in a bad game.
Wait.
So you can pretty much find all of these for dirt cheap.
Wait.
I mean, I know I
Sheik's
did.
playable,
Uploads a
and
piece
then
at
you got
Five Below, where garbage goes to
Hyrule
die.
Warriors.
I picked up 2
Hyrule
bags of Animal
Warriors.
Crossing Amiibo cards as well. These did far better sales-wise. They got up to 4 different
Yeah.
series released. I assume it's because collecting hundreds of Animal Crossing cards is a lot more fun and addicting than buying one.
Is there an actual
opening
Animal
these up, I got
Crossing
Sugar
trading
Wolf,
game?
Spunk Rat, Unemployed Mouse, Insomnia Duck, Better Than Me Gazelle, Bride of an Aardvark, Self-Conscious Dog, Ye Old Lion, Hair Duck, Sex Frog, Kyle, and Mammal.
Alright, so
Kyle.
now
I love how he
Animal
just said
Crossing
Kyle.
Amiibo cards
Like
and
all
reality
casually.
Animal
He's
Crossing
like
Amiibo
Kyle,
figures,
just
and the
Kyle.
game
He
is
doesn't
officially
deserve a
in my
nickname.
Wii U. And
Kyle.
then it happened.
No.
The gout?
No.
No.
Virginity.
I mean, you're the anti-version, so it doesn't fucking matter if
Tap an
virginity
amiibo on
is
the Wii
you.
U gamepad. Let's go with Spunk Rat. It's gonna be one of those games, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is an amiibo. Why can't I enter? Alright, fine. We'll try Clearance Otter. If you ever wanted an otter on clearance, buy a Lottie amiibo. Tapping a figure brings us to the plaza. Our main option here is the board
Cool.
game. Well, I couldn't possibly play Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival by myself. What do I look like, a fucking loser? I at least need
Yes.
to play Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival with one other person.
Oh. No. No. I'm not playing it.
Shut up.
No.
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 I'm telling you,
No.
I am forwarding this message to everybody in my contacts list. If you stop by tonight, we can play
Gex? Yeah.
Gex.
When in doubt, Gex
Didn't I
out.
take you as a Gex fan?
No. No, he fucking
I knew
hates
you were
it.
lying, and I'll do anything not Gex related.
Even Amiibo Festival?
Yeah.
Is it Gex night? I've been waiting for this for years.
No.
Yeah.
No, well, yep. Ah, cool. Damn, Gex is looking
Gex.
cool,
So we
super
enter the world
good.
of Gex by
I mean,
tapping our amiibo.
they went
Unlike
down
the board
after
game.
like
Now we have
Amiibo
12 games to
Festival,
choose from.
but Ultra
Much
Smash
throughout
was
the
pretty
year.
good.
Honestly,
But
it's a great
Ziplash
idea in terms of
fucking
transitioning the
sucked.
series into a board game. It's all about life and the time of year translating over to the game. You can still find positives in hell. We get the rules
Yeah.
explained to us, and this is
You
going
can
to take an
still
hour and a
find
half to finish.
positives in
Do we really have
hell.
enough stamina to last that long? I haven't eaten since yesterday, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, and I know Gex. An hour and a half is really lowballing it.
Okay, we'll buy some food.
Alright, what do you guys want? I only have enough money for one thing we can all share.
Doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, I'm starving. I couldn't care less right now.
Alright. I'll take one corn dog.
You went to Sonic?
Not just that, I ate there.
Should have came sooner.
So when you have some players
Not-
to play a real-life video game with, before you start a game, you need to make sure you and your team are nourished. This is going to take a whole lot of effort and time, and the last thing you want anybody to do during a game of Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival is leave to do something else. When commitment is your middle name, it's time to play. Scan your amiibo when it's your turn and lift it to roll the dice. Move the spaces given. You want to gain happy points and bells. Land on spaces that either make you happy or give you money. Some spaces only do one or the other or both. But some spaces take away one or the other or both. Every space you
Yep.
land on, you get a little story play out that explains why
Yeah,
you gained
nice.
happy points and or bells or why you lost them. I have never meant anything more in my life than what I'm about to say. Cute, I guess. Sometimes events happen
Weird.
where characters show up, and if you land on a certain space, they may give you an item to use. These items are all sorts of basic cards that let you move whatever amount of spaces you want.
Cool.
They're fucking fun! Joan appears
They're
every now and then and sells you
fun.
turnips. You buy a bunch and then the market does the talking. Each space then has a different selling price for your turnip, so it's up to you to decide when it's time to sell your stock. Investment's a core part of the game. Again, great for people who can't read. And that's Amiibo Festival. When every player takes a turn moving, the next day starts and you repeat until the month is over. Your bells are converted to happy points at the end and are added to your overall total, and whoever has the most happy points wins. Now you
Cool.
can set a time limit so the game ends after a certain period rather than lasting an hour and a half, but that's not the
Cool.
Amiibo Festival. Wait, damn it. Rev up your endurance glance because we're in this for the long haul.
He's a gecko with sunglasses.
So yes, we constantly have to scan our amiibo to roll the dice each and every time.
Cool.
Is it strategic? Is the dice roll slow to compensate for the fact it has to read a chip in the figurine? Is scanning an amiibo to roll dice fun? Don't quote me on
No.
this. But no, if you want to play with up to 4 players, but you only have 1 to 3 amiibo, the remaining players can play as a human villager, and all they have to do is hit A. Come on, that's no fair!
That-
Using
no,
an amiibo
yeah,
to
no,
do
that
this
ain't
is
fair.
clunky and annoying, primarily because you constantly have to do it. Other games that support amiibo, it's a one and done. You scan it and then you set the figure down. Here you constantly
Yep.
have to, and it is grating mainly because I know there's a beautiful little button that can roll the dice for me and then some right there.
Yeah.
It's even programmed into the game! But I have to keep scanning something I bought at Five Below. But here's what I really don't like. After you scan, you then have to use the stick and A button to confirm which direction you want to go in when you reach different path options. One of my biggest pet peeves in games, specifically on the Wii U, is when they force you to use the controller in a way that makes you reposition your hands when it is completely unnecessary. Maybe Mario Color Splash on the Wii U did this. Its default control scheme had you pick cards to play with the touchscreen, then force you to quickly shift your hands back to the buttons to time your actions properly. I ended up switching to the all-button control scheme because, sure, there are more steps required with this than with the advanced touch controls option, but here, I don't need to reposition my hands constantly. In Amiibo Festival, I have to scan the figure, use the buttons. Sometimes I'm forced to use the touchscreen for no damn reason. If the developers just had to absolutely force you to scan the Amiibo to roll the dice, why not have the rest of the controls on the touchscreen? And that way you can leave the gamepad on a table without it being sort of kind of awkward to use when picking a direction. Like, why not be able to select the direction to go in on the touchscreen? Oh, that's right, you can't, because the emotion buttons are on the touchscreen.
Cool!
Yes.
How
consistency issues when it comes to what's exclusively
fun!
and what's not. And there's really nothing that ever happens where I think, oh man, I want to hide what I'm looking at from the other players. Also, we all just use one gamepad, pass it around like a corn dog. It just makes things unnecessarily cumbersome. The game itself reeks of Mario Party. I mean, happy points are basically stars and bells or coins. Of course, more coins mean more of a chance to get a star in Mario Party, which is what you're really after, and it's no different with Amiibo Festival. The difference is, most Mario Parties have a mini-game play after each player rolls their dice and
but this one has...
You want to do good at the mini-games to get more coins, to get more stars. After everybody rolls an Amiibo Festival, you roll again. Mini games know nothing. This game is just constantly rolling the dice and moving around the board. And sure, you have the element of the fucking onions. I guess you have to strategize when's the right time to sell them. And no, even that's total luck.
Yes, my favorite.
You can sell them for a fortune. It's all up to the dice roll. But Scott, you may say, what? You can get special cards that give you the ability to move a specific amount of spaces. Yeah, sure, but if you even get the opportunity to get a card like that, completely random. If you get the number of spaces you'd actually need in the future, completely random. It's all luck. You build up your bells for 45 minutes, all for a damn owl to bump into you and take half your money. The best strategy you can put into this game is doing a trick when scanning your Amiibo.
Now that. Badass.
I mean, if Amiibo Festival nails anything, it's the ambiance of Animal Crossing. Every space you land on tells you the story of what happened to your character that day. It's all well written, I guess, but keep in mind, there is way too much dialogue for this being a party game. I have multiple people in the room, Katie. You don't need to explain your purpose each and every time somebody runs into you. Presentation-wise, it's still Animal Crossing. It looks okay, but it just kind of feels like...
it's Animal Crossing. I mean, it's a bop. The songs are bop. The gameplay in, like, certain games are bop. This game doesn't have bop gameplay. This has bad gameplay. Completely fucking different.
But that doesn't make any of them feel all too distinct. There are events that happen based on the month.
When you have to take down a loan, but at the same day.
Feels the damn same. Here's a quiz for you. Which board is June and which board is July?
August.
You level up your character after every game and save that data to the Amiibo. Thank God I get something out of this. Leveling up with your happy points unlocks new costumes. Oh, you know, now this game has purpose. And that's the board game. But you just wait, because we have so much more to this.
I love how they have...
In fact. All of which are exclusively playable with Amiibo cards. You cannot use figures. Is there any reason why I can't use the Amiibo cards in the board game and Amiibo figures in the minigames?
Man, you really haven't played Gex before, have you?
So we basically have to grind in this game for a couple hours to unlock everything. We have Balloon Island, where we scan in an Amiibo card and lift it up to drop our character at the right time to get the most points. I will say, this is an instance where scanning the cards makes this a bit more interesting. You have to take the delay into account. I think it would be way more interesting if different characters had different characteristics to how they drop, so there's more of a strategy when picking your card. But overall, this would be a bit weird without the cards.
It's weird with the cards.
Acorn
It's weird
chase.
with anything.
For this garden, picking up all the acorns by scanning one of the 3 cards you pick to go in different directions before you get mauled. It's fine. Rossetti Bob, so it's whack-a-mole mixed with rock, paper, scissors. Finally, somebody did it. All the Amiibo cards have either rock, paper, or scissors on them, so you scan them in, and when you see a Rossetti with rock under it and you are definitely paper, scan your card, nothing else matters in the world. It can get pretty crazy, although an easy way to cheese it is if you scan in all characters with the same thing. That way it's not nearly as confusing. Mystery Campers! We scan in 6 cards and have to try to guess which 4 of the characters are in the tents and which order they're in. This one's honestly incredibly simple, but kind of fun. It really makes you think critically. Every time you scan in 4, it tells you how many were correct and if you were close with some of your picks. It's pretty satisfying to figure it all out considering all your previous choices. Speaking of thinking critically, the Animal Crossing Quiz Show, the perfect game to play with people who don't know Animal Crossing all too well. What is this?
Is it a recurring joke?
Evil card battle. You pick cards to play and there are definitely outcomes. I don't get this one. Desert Island Escape. This is the most game this game gets.
Yeah, it's survival. I like that. I want to play that.
And find materials to escape before time runs out. You just have to strategize where to move and if certain things are worth risking. It's nothing amazing, but it's...
Yeah, it's like survival in Minecraft or hardcore mode in Minecraft.
Festival, Gex, but we played the entirety of what it had to offer.
Didn't we forget the Fruit Path game?
Get the f*** out of my house.
Yeah, that's a
Animal
moment.
Crossing Amiibo Festival is generally considered the lowest point of the Animal Crossing franchise. It
Yeah.
is, but I think what stings the most is the fact that it didn't need to be. Of course, best case scenario, it would be an actual real-life Animal Crossing for the Wii U. But an Animal Crossing party game had so much potential. The core concept here is fantastic. Taking elements from Animal Crossing and turning them into a board game, having the boards be different months, holidays as different events that happen, but they didn't do anything interesting with these concepts. ND Cube made this game, and they developed the modern Mario Party and Wii Party games. And by God, I just don't think they know how to balance a game's content or design boards for party games. They always try to give as many options as possible to give the illusion of a ton of content with tons of modes or minigames. But everything is so bare bones, it doesn't matter. It would have been better if they found a way to mesh all the content in here together. That way it could have been at least a little more interesting. Amiibo Festival by far is the worst game they've ever developed. But it's not ungodly terrible. It's bad, no doubt. But some of the extra mini-games aren't the worst, and the board game can be fun if you want to overact about everything happening. However, that mode is overly long with nothing about ever happening. The control scheme is completely unnecessary, and with each amiibo costing around $13 a pop at launch, you were spending well over $100 when this game released to play with multiple characters and access the other mini-games. The concept's great. The execution is abysmal. However, I can't say it's the worst thing ever. There are glimpses of hope in the package here and there. So, it's not terrible, it's just
terrible.
awful.
Well, I think overall you're experiencing post-game syndrome. You should wear off between the next day or two. I'm surprised it only took you one game to get this shaken.
Well, actually, I'm here because it was more so a barrage of bad Nintendo games I played. First, it was Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival. Next, it was Mario Tennis Ultra Smash. Okay, bye.
Ah, that's a good moment. Oh, shit, wait. Okay, and now we continue on.
Everybody has a certain play style in Mario Tennis Ultra.
Rewind. Okay, here we are.
You're a therapy machine. You're gonna therapize good tonight. You're gonna be the best therapist a therapist will ever ask for. You're gonna do great.
Yep. Whoa! Well, I mean, that'd be pretty cool if Scott the Wave showed up on my doorstep.
Wait, let's go one at a time. You first.
What the f are you doing here in my house?
Okay.
I wouldn't ask that. I would ask.
Bang out some more
Holy shit!
therapy.
Get the
You are a
Wave.
therapist. I'm traumatized. It all works out.
I can't give you therapy right now. It's daytime. I'm a night therapist.
Don't my credits transfer over?
Listen, I didn't become a therapist to hear you vent about Amiibo Festival.
Amiibo Festival.
I'm not registered to give advice about that.
Well, then are you a registered therapist at all?
So, tell me about that dumb f***ing tennis game that hurt your feelings.
I don't know. I feel like you're only talking to me now, so then I
Yeah.
don't tell anybody you're not registered to be a therapist. I feel like I almost have to pay you to listen to me.
So it's therapy.
Yeah, it's pretty much therapy. After Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival, I decided it was time to move on to smaller and worse things. I was at my desk again.
Hey, y'all, Scott here.
Yes!
What?
Oh, before every therapy session I make predictions. I nailed that one. I'm really good at reading people. Just like, you're not pregnant.
Yeah, because he's the anti-virgin. He can't
I
get
just gotta
pregnant.
get this stuff. They call me the human pregnancy test in high school.
That's a
Well,
weird
I'm
name.
Still on a quest to play through 3 of Nintendo's worst games of all time. I just finished up Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival, and my eyes can no longer feel joy. So let's check
Cool.
more body parts off the list with Mario Tennis Ultra Smash.
Okay,
Well,
so
I think
what
he
was
lost
the
his
game's
joy.
thing? Was it good?
No.
What do you think?
Based on the information, it's hard to tell. What is an Ultra Smash? Is it a move in the game? Is it the game itself? Or is it just two words that have no business being together at all?
Yes to all.
Yes. Mario Tennis, one of the greatest series of games Nintendo's ever produced.
Yeah, I mean, the games are a
Mario
bop.
Pyramid showcases the series' growth from simple beginnings to fucking everything. The character
Yep.
of Mario is so understandable to the masses. You look at him and go, yeah, I'm comfortable. Everybody's played a Mario game and know they're all about running and jumping and ending the sentence there. They're games people who don't enjoy games can at least get, and with Mario being such a basic mascot character, you can throw him into all kinds of settings and it would still make sense. Does he have a PhD?
Yeah.
No doubt. Can he be a chef?
Yeah.
Has he renewed his hunting license? Hopefully. He's a jack of all trades, and Nintendo usually puts him into so many different genres because he's such a good gateway character. If you aren't necessarily interested in a turn-based strategy game, well, if they put Mario into it, it automatically feels a bit safer to try.
Yeah, I feel
When
like
see
that's
Mario
a
on
good
cover to
moment.
Game, I think
Yeah.
simple, wacky, but
You
well
think
thought out fun
Mario.
is no more obvious than with the Mario sports games.
Yep.
Ever since the NES, Nintendo's been cramming Mario into sports titles, starting with golf. That's our Mario. He looks more like an Uncle Tony than a Super Mario.
Ah, yes,
Apparently,
Uncle
that's it.
Mario.
As time went on, Mario started appearing in more of these games, whether they were starring roles or just cameos, but when Super Mario Kart released, I'm sure Nintendo realized the Mario brand was too lucrative to limit him to just a simple cameo in these games. You gotta theme the entire thing around him. So, in 1995, the first Mario sports game completely based on and named after the brand was released.
Yeah.
Mario's Tennis on the Virtual Boy. It's his tennis. Released as a pack-in for the system, it was a Mario-themed tennis game. Am I allowed to be disappointed? With a title like this, I'm not sure what I was expecting, but probably a little bit more. It was basic tennis, and it does that well enough, but when you put
Yeah, but I
Mario
don't know.
in the name, I'm
But
expecting
it's
something more
on the
wacky,
Virtual
more
Boy, so
cartoony,
it
or
sucks.
fun? Well, Scott, do I have a surprise for me? 1999 rolls around and the Mario
Well,
Golf
Scott,
series
do
is
I
formally
have a
introduced
surprise
on
for
Nintendo
you,
64
Scott.
and Game Boy Color, with Mario Tennis getting a shot at redemption on the exact same systems 1 year later. The Nintendo 64 Mario sports titles were fun and simple sports games you could crack out at a party and have a blast with. You could enjoy them as just sports titles, but they added the charm of the Mario world, characters, stages, items. These were games that brought
Yeah.
together sports and Mario fans, or even attracted those who weren't necessarily into either one. There are a ton of people who don't care for sports, but love a good Mario sports game. The Game Boy Color versions were vastly different and were more so RPGs. You control characters who were dear god anything but Mario and tried to become the golf or tennis masters. You could even connect the handheld games to the N64 ones to unlock things. They had some cool ideas back then before the idea of a Mario sports game became so concrete. Now, when Nintendo moved on to their next console, the GameCube, Mario Sports truly hit the next level. Mario Golf Toadstool Tour and Mario Power Tennis. These were amazing upgrades, better in pretty much every way to their predecessors. While Mario Tennis was still quite a fun time on N64, Power Tennis added so much in terms of characters, different courts with all kinds of Mario-themed gimmicks, special modes. It was incredible. Companion titles for the Game Boy Advance release that continued the RPG lineage of the Game Boy Color games, and back on the GameCube, we got 2 new sports series as well, baseball and soccer. Yeah, Mario sports titles were some of the go-to multiplayer party games. They were incredibly popular, so when the next system rolled around,
They really just sort of disappeared for a while.
You really are a human pregnancy test.
the Wii and Nintendo DS. You see, these systems were tailor-made for sports games. The
Yeah.
Wii had a sports game bundled in with it. They both had control schemes that screamed, "Put a Mario sports game on me."
Yeah.
And what did Nintendo do? They got Square Enix to make a basketball game for the DS.
Oh,
Why
yeah.
wouldn't they? Made sequels to Baseball and Strikers on the Wii. Mario Power Tennis got re-released in widescreen with motion controls and nothing else. And Mario Sports Mix, yay. So why did Mario Golf skip this console? Why did they just port over an old Mario Tennis? Why did the DS get only one sports game? The lack of titles on the Wii may be because many consumers already had Wii Sports, and most of the sports included in the package have been Mario Sports games in the past. To be fair, I wanted Mario Super Sluggers when it came out, but I initially passed on it because I went, well, I have baseball and Wii Sports, what's the point? Maybe Nintendo thought consumers wouldn't care for a new Mario Golf or Mario Tennis if they already had free alternatives that came with the console? But see, that's dumb logic. Sports games sold like crazy on this system. If anything, people loved Wii Bowling and Golf so much they'd immediately buy garbage bowling and golf games just because they wanted more of it. Now, where the DS had barely any sports games, I don't know, but I mean, it had pack picks. Don't be greedy. Maybe Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games had something to do with it. No, we don't need to make new Mario sports games. Mario and Sonic will do the trick. But those were just sports minigame collections. They had charm, no doubt, but a collection of dozens of sports isn't going to have the same amount of quality as a game that focused solely on one sport. Yeah, I'd say Mario Sports Mix was where the decline truly started to happen. It's not a bad game, but with it being 4 sports in one, with each not feeling nearly as in-depth as they should be, it just doesn't have the same quality as something like Power Tennis or Toadstool Tour or Strikers or Super Sluggers. After Sports Mix, we got Mario Tennis Open on the Nintendo 3DS.
We did?
Yeah, this is an often forgotten one. It's not bad.
That's a
It
Wii
was
what?
Mario Tennis, for Christ's sake. How could it be? It was just lacking in overall personality and ways to spice up the series. It just kind of felt like tennis with Mario flair and not much more, or at least that's what most reviewers said. It's an alright game. I'd take this in comparison to a lobotomy most days.
Something better than a lobotomy?
Most days. It's just not too enthralling. Now, if we
The
take a look
last
at Mario
3
Power
days?
Tennis,
Oh,
so
those are
much
bad.
characters injected into this one. Look at all the courts, all the gimmicks, all the cutscenes,
Yeah,
all
all
the
kinds
love,
of
all the
me.
This was something that was slowly but surely disappearing from the sports games, and instead of feeling like the developers were trying to make the most out of what a Mario sports game could be by throwing in as many references and characters as possible, it felt like they were just doing this for a paycheck. This was also the first Mario Tennis game on a handheld that didn't go for an RPG style. That's fine, I mean, those were cool games, but I understand when you hear Mario Tennis, you probably think about the Nintendo 64 and GameCube versions first. But it just kind of shows that instead of doing something different or interesting, they'd rather just do exactly what you'd expect from a game called Mario Tennis. Thankfully, Mario Golf World Tour released for the 3DS 2 years later, and this was a great time. So many different courses and modes, the gameplay mechanics were fun, understandable, but had depth. I think the problem with Mario Tennis Open was that it was simplifying an already simple game. They took out the special character moves you could pull off from Power Tennis and instead have these chance shots on the ground. They were just glowing spots where if you perform the shot the game tells you to pull off while standing near it, you'll pull off a more powerful hit. But in the end, that just means the game is all about following the glowy spot and doing the move it tells you to do. The power shots had so much character and were tons of fun to watch and pull off, and for them to be gutted like this, it makes Mario Tennis less about Mario and way more about tennis. See, out of all the 4 major sports series, tennis is definitely my least favorite. Not because it's bad, but it's just the most basic playing sport after being turned into a video game. Go over here, hit the ball, go over here, hit the ball, go over here, hit the ball. This Mario Tennis on the Nintendo 64 and Power Tennis on the GameCube didn't try to simplify the game. If you wanted simple tennis, there were more than enough tennis games out there for you. Mario Tennis was for people who wanted a wackier take on the sport, but there was still depth here. You needed to be skillful to beat your opponent. Open's chance shots just made the game mindless. You didn't outsmart the other player by going over to the glowing spot. Don't lie, if you were fucking Luigi playing tennis and the ground started glowing, you'd go over to it, but you wouldn't feel accomplished, you just followed the glow. Okay, so after the GameCube, Mario Sports titles' quality was definitely declining. Sure, there wasn't really a terrible one at this point, but they were a lot more hit or miss than they used to be. Camelot Software Planning were the developers of both the Mario Golf and Mario Tennis series ever since the Nintendo 64 and Game Boy Color. They've made every game in both franchises since that point, whether they were the multiplayer party games on console or the RPGs on the handhelds. And they truly had a lot of talent. And just looking at their games on the GameCube, they were obviously very proud of those games, with amazing opening cutscenes that were more so 5-minute long comedy shorts. They had great rosters of characters, fantastic modes, and they're still fun today. But by the year 2015, when Mario sports games were sort of in the gutter, what did they do?
Only one wants to go against the grain.
Mario Tennis Ultra Smash was the first time I've ever used the term Mario Tennis Ultra Smash is bad. As you can see, the lineage of Mario sports titles up until this point somewhat started to degrade in quality. So when E3 2015 rolled around, I think we were all hoping for a new Mario sports game that was a return to form. It's been a while since we've seen Mario Strikers or Mario Baseball. Those would be fun to see again. Or a Mario Golf on a home console. We haven't gotten one of those since the GameCube. Or, hey, maybe a new Mario sport like football or horseback riding. During Nintendo's E3 2015 digital event, after revealing Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival, as you would if you wanted to watch the world burn, Nintendo showcased a few more trailers, revealing Mario and Luigi Paper Jam, and immediately afterwards, with no hesitation, no time to breathe, they just started a trailer for a new Mario Tennis game. Hell yes, I am completely indifferent to Mario Tennis.
So this is just Alfredo part.
Amiibo Festival.
This already wasn't a series you liked.
That's right, it was a series I tolerated.
So what does it matter to you if this game got announced or turned out to be bad? Even if it was the greatest tennis game of all time, you still probably wouldn't care about it.
That's not true. I wouldn't probably not care about it. I just wouldn't care about it.
Yeah.
Why does Nintendo love Mario Tennis so much? I'm sure the Wii didn't get its own game, but it at least got a re-release of the GameCube one. Then we got Open on the 3DS, Ultra Smash on Wii U. Then tennis was included as one of the 5 sports in Mario Sports Superstars on 3DS in 2017, including horseback riding.
Holy shit!
And then with no hesitation, a new Mario Tennis game after that. Guys, I know this series has the fabled fan who thinks Mario Tennis is the greatest series Nintendo's ever made out there somewhere.
Oh, we'll find them.
But in my opinion, it's the least interesting sport of the bunch. And even if it was the most interesting, why not give the other sports more attention? It just boggles my mind. Well, this new Mario Tennis game was revealed and it looked fantastic. Look at the character models, the lighting, the colors, it all looked gorgeous. It was like they took the graphics of Mario Kart 8 and made a tennis game out of them. Why would you do that? I don't know, but look at the grass. It looked great.
That's a good green.
Visually. Gameplay-wise, yep, that sure is a Mario Tennis. There was this Mega Mushroom power-up showcased where characters would grow. Get this, big giants playing tennis. Well, that's interesting, I guess. What else does this game have? A title. What kind of subtitle is Ultra Smash? What does that mean? It just feels like they went to an auto title generator and it came up with this.
Yeah,
But
like,
whatever. Okay, it's releasing holiday of 2015. They obviously want to save a bunch of stuff about this game to reveal later. This obviously isn't the entire game.
If you go all, guess what it was?
The game was playable on the E3 show floor, and my god, that is old artwork of Peach. Looking at the gameplay, It was just tennis.
Yeah, it's a tennis game. Well, what were you expecting?
I don't understand.
You don't understand. It wasn't Mario.
It was just
It was
tennis.
just tennis.
Oh my god.
It looked like a very barren HD version of Mario Tennis Open, Jan shots and all. Temporary box art for the game
Ah,
was revealed.
shit.
And I still have nightmares about this. I know this was just to give retailers something to put up on their Mario Tennis Ultra Smash product pages until the true box art was finished, but back in 2015, I was a bit concerned this was actually going to be the final box art. I was more concerned about that than if the game was going to be good. That was about it for Ultra Smash until October 2015. We got a trailer labeled Look Who's on the Court. That could mean anything! It was less than a minute long and announced characters that were pretty much always playable in Mario Tennis games. Boo, Daisy, Waluigi. I think the most concerning thing about this trailer was after 4 months of nothing on this game, this was all they had to show us. And it was releasing in a month. We also didn't see any new courts. It was just the same basic one from E3, but the material of the court could be changed.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, 2 days later, another trailer was released. The Love All trailer. This one introducing the tagline of Play Tennis with Super Mario Powers.
Huh.
They had me at this game having a tagline.
So this was an overview trailer showing off all the modes. Hopefully this isn't all the modes. What? There's tennis, big
Hold
tennis,
on.
online tennis, boring tennis, because
Yeah, sorry about that. Let's
no
continue.
new courts in the game.
Yeah.
It's just the same stadium with different textures on the floor.
Ugh.
Thanks. Well, at least at this point, the game got actual box art, and the release date was November 20th. 1
Cool.
week after Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival. I f***ing hate calendars.
A couple of
I
hidden characters
hate
were revealed,
that.
previews started to come out. I was holding out hope this game was hiding something. Even when the Nintendo Direct in November 2015 came out and Mario Tennis Ultra Smash was highlighted, this was a week before it was releasing, and I was still praying this wasn't all the game was. This looked exactly like it did back at E3. Back when it had a reason to be bare bones. It was a demo, and the first time we saw the game. Didn't even leave the unlockable characters locked when showcasing the thing. They had
Oof.
no shame with showing everything this game was, and most importantly, what it wasn't.
So November 20th rolled around and you bought the game? You bought the game?
Actually, no, not at all.
You're making great progress.
This was 5 years ago.
2015, I started a bit of a tradition. If a Nintendo published Wii U game released,
Yeah.
I would buy it. I think I did this out of love for the company and a desire to support them during this era.
Yeah.
But see, after Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival released just 1 week earlier, seeing how absolutely barren Ultra Smash was and evaluating its price tag of $50 US, I picked it up, about to buy it, and said, no, I'm not supporting this. I could
Yeah,
understand a
Nintendo.
$60 price tag. It came with Amiibo figures and cards.
Nintendo,
It wasn't
what
much
the
at all.
fuck?
The price tag was a bit more justified. Ultra Smash wasn't a full $60, but that doesn't mean it's worth $50. I held back
Yeah.
on this game for a while. I didn't want to support Nintendo rushing out games that were overpriced and lacking in content just to fill their holiday lineup.
So I told that video game company, they ain't seeing a dime from me. They may be a multi-billion-dollar Japanese corporation, but let that be a lesson to them. I ain't giving them any of my business when it comes to $50 tennis games. Now, when I see it on sale for $25 2 years later, then I'll bite.
Look at this box art. I'll give the game this. It looks good. The layout's nice. Luigi. Unleash your jump shots to take the advantage. The marketing people were trying with this game. This blurb is like if a dictionary had harnessed the power of words on the back. Yeah, it's always a good sign when the age rating doesn't have anything to say about the game. No comic mischief, cartoon violence, or sexual content like Mario Power Tennis.
What? What? Whoa! Sexual content? I don't remember. Don't expect me to kids you.
Random characters all around it and call it a day.
Oh,
Yeah.
no. No, not the discard.
That was the one thing I thought they couldn't ruin.
And they f***ed it. Nintendo f***ed it just like they f***ed our bands of friends.
Amiibo Festival.
I don't care.
I don't.
This is it.
Well,
Game I refuse to buy and play because of
here
the
we
principle of it all. You know,
are.
if I really wanted to be a hypocrite, I could just enjoy an RPG, but that's not gonna happen.
This is Mario Tennis Ultra Smash. Could you tell?
Yeah, I couldn't really tell. I wonder what this game is. It's not like it says it.
Remember Mario Tennis on the Nintendo 64? It had that
Yeah.
cute little opening cutscene. Remember Mario Tennis on the Game Boy Color? It had a fun little cinematic. Remember Mario Power Tennis on the GameCube? It had an Oscar-worthy opening short film. Remember Mario Tennis Power Tour on the Game Boy Advance? It had an intense little opening for a handheld game.
Yeah.
Remember Mario Tennis Open for the Nintendo 3DS? It had a lame opening, but an opening regardless. Remember Mario Tennis Ultra Smash? It had nothing. So we enter into the main menu. It's honestly pretty bland, but Pretty slick. I like how when you hover over an option, a video plays in the box. It's simple, but it's decently attractive. It feels like a huge display at a sports game. Now, is there another page of options? Are there modes I can unlock? Is there more to this?
What have
There
I
mo-
been bitching about the past 17 minutes?
This is all Mario Tennis Ultra
Um,
Smash has to offer. 5 modes. That's
Cool.
not an immediate problem. A lack of modes doesn't automatically mean a lack of quality. Maybe these are very in-depth modes with a ton of variety and replay value. What if they made the most out of the limited options and made something truly special? What if they did that? Do you think they did that?
What have I been bitching about the past
yeah.
18 minutes?
Alright,
Oh,
so
cool.
let's start off with the first option available. Mega Battle. Though we
Cool.
choose between
And
either
Mega
one of
Battle.
these singles or
And
doubles
Mega
tennis
Battle.
options, I'd be concerned if a tennis game
Oh, hey, look, Grover Cleveland.
Alright, nice character select screen. All of this is old art. Every single one of these character profiles are years old. Some of them over 10 years old from this game's release, and I have no idea why they had to rip art from ass-old games. Just looking at the disc art, they created new renders of tons of these characters specifically for Ultra Smash. Why did they feel the need to reuse old renders, even when characters like Peach,
Mommy?
Daisy, and Rosalina aren't in their tennis outfits in the renders when they aren't in the game? Oh my god, look, we have 4 unlockable characters.
Mommy,
grayed out.
why
Who
does
did they pick?
Nintendo
Listen, I
like
know that silhouette
Ultra
anywhere.
Smash?
I can't believe they added Grover Cleveland.
Oh,
Plus, you
yes,
get to
best
pick the
character.
type of court.
Grover Cleveland completely destroys the
These
meta.
3 words are also nice, but I think hard's the way to go. Then we get to pick which type of control and camera setup we want. Do we want the score on the gamepad? Do we want the game copied to the gamepad? Maybe even reverse view or dynamic?
Mario Tennis Ultra Smash is overwhelming me. Yeah, I was starting to get a little sarcastic.
But there was a reverse view.
Let's just go with
Yeah,
copy,
but
and
there
here's
was
a
a-
loading screen. Oh.
Cool.
Oh, it's not loading. We could have just hit A this entire time. Look how quickly the A button appears here. Like, it doesn't even load anything. You'd think this is a loading screen, but all this basically is just a tip and trick you're forced to skip. Is there any point to the screen? And here's the game. Surprised?
Yeah, I just realized this is a tennis game.
You just realized?
This was my first time playing. It's meant to be played with multiple people. I think that calls for more people to play with. I just have to try to sweeten the deal to try and get them over here. I am forwarding this message to everybody on my contacts list. If you come over tonight, I will inform you how your uncle just died. Did not take you as somebody who had an uncle.
No, I don't.
I just couldn't believe my uncle died again.
What if I told
Cool.
you your uncle didn't die and you can celebrate by playing tennis?
There's
Nah.
one thing I hated more than my uncle. It's tennis.
No, it's
Playing
Gex.
tennis.
I don't know. I just never thought I was big enough to play. Like, if I could grow comically big while playing tennis,
Oh,
I'd give it a chance.
Well,
joy.
I have an Ultra Smash for you.
Yeah, as long as it's not Gex, I'm in.
Oh, is it Gex Night? I love Gex Night.
Gex, not Gex.
Did you get my message about your uncle dying?
He died for the 3rd time?
Well, that's,
Yeah, let's fire up Gex.
Fucking lizard Gex. Oh my god. Oh, if you were a Gex fan, you get that.
Mega Battle, we just played tennis, and a toad will randomly throw a Mega Mushroom onto the court, touch it, and that's a fun cutscene. I hope they play it every time somebody touches a Mega Mushroom. Oh, joy!
Oh,
this is a mode where you
joy.
have one power-up thrown onto
Joy
the court,
is
and you can go
occasion.
big.
Oh,
Of course, your shots
wow.
are more powerful now, which makes it
Yeah.
incredibly unfair when you're up against somebody without a Mega Mushroom. But then when you get a Mega Mushroom, when the other person has a Mega Mushroom, then this is basically the same as a regular match. When
Yeah,
it's just
but
two
it's just
giants going up against each other, you don't really feel the power of being a giant. You both are at equal
Yeah.
power levels. It's not interesting. With Mega Battle, the same thing always happens. You play normal tennis, and then a toad throws a Mega Mushroom onto one of your sides. If you had to fight for the Mega Mushroom, that would be one thing, but no, they just throw it on whoever side they feel like that day.
It's
And
like,
pretty much no matter the way to grab it. You get it. The exact same cutscene plays every time you
I
pause
really
the
feel
action. If
bad
there were,
for,
a
like,
couple of different
Yoshi,
animations per
so I'm just
character,
gonna throw it on his
I
side.
still wouldn't like the fact the cutscene interrupts everything, but at least it would be more understandable. No, each character only has one Mega Mushroom cutscene, and it plays every time. You can't disable it, you can't skip it, you have to watch it, and then you're big. Good for you.
Yeah,
now
yeah,
your
you're
shots are
big.
more powerful, and it's easier for you to hit the ball back because you're so much bigger. Obviously, why wouldn't you go for the Mega Mushroom? I get that sometimes the mushroom may be out of the way for you to grab it if the ball is heading in the opposite direction, but this thing stays on the court for so long. There is not a ton of urgency to grab it immediately. So basically, when somebody gets big, it's now completely unfair. The other person is incredibly tiny, but then Toad will throw them a Mega Mushroom, and
Cool.
then they grow big, cutscene and all. So now you have 2 people who are just large for no reason. What's the point if everybody has a power-up? It's not a power-up at that point.
It's just a
Eventually,
giveaway.
Your power-up will run out. So now we're back to somebody having an unfair advantage until their power-up runs out, and then you get a Mega Mushroom thrown at you again, and the cycle repeats. The Toads almost always throw you the Mega Mushroom in the exact same pattern every time. You get it, then your opponent gets it about 30 seconds later. after yours runs out and your opponent still has it for a bit until theirs runs out, and then you get a Mega Mushroom again. It constantly repeats. Now, if your opponent hits your body with the ball, then you lose your power-up. You're telling me they had nothing for this rating? But, yup, that's Mega Battle. It's just regular tennis with a power-up that honestly adds absolutely nothing but a dumb selling point to the box. It's just so worthless. Like, the Toad just throws you a Mega Mushroom and that's it? If you had a meter where you had to keep a rally going, or you had to pull off some skillful shot or something, and it fills up, and then you get a Mega Mushroom, then that would be one thing. Or if it was just pure chaos and Toad would throw Mega Mushrooms randomly, like every 2 seconds, and it wasn't balanced in the slightest. I mean, this already isn't balanced well, but if it was more random, I could at least appreciate it in a bullshit insane way. But no, it's just the same thing over and over again. All you do is grow big, and you quickly realize it's just a part of this pattern of growing big, opponent grows big, you go back to normal, they go back to normal, and it just repeats. Growing large isn't interesting because it's basically an automatic win button. If you're large and your opponent's not, you are going to beat them. Outside of growing large, the game is, it's just tennis. You just use shots, but hitting whatever button you want does the trick. Sure, performing different shots at the right moments is what skillful players do. Which is why we don't. If you see the glowing chance shot spots returning from Mario Tennis Open, just go right over to it and perform the button action it tells you to perform. Basically, you either mash a random button when the ball gets over to you, or you just waddle over to the glowy points and hit the button the game tells you to hit. Every now and then you do these jump shots if the ball's over your head, if you hit A, B, or Y twice. Every now and then, if the other player messes up their shot, you'll get a different glow spot and it'll let you do an Ultra Smash, which is just a very powerful jump shot that immediately means you won. But it's not like a crazy amazing looking thing, it's just bam. Wow, an Ultra Smash. You should name a game after that. I mean, it controls well enough. There's nothing inherently wrong with the game at its core, but it's just not fun. It's just boring. The gameplay loop isn't enjoyable. The things that adds to the Mario Tennis series are jump shots and Mega Battle. Has God seen this? But it's okay, we have 4 other modes to try out here. Next up is Mega Ball Rally. We have to try to maintain a rally for as long as humanly possible. See, the Mega comes from how big the ball is, and it gets smaller and smaller as the rally goes on, so it gets trickier. The ball comes from the fact we're using a ball, and the rally comes from the fact this is a rally. I don't understand when you're playing against a computer and they end up doing a giant ass shot on you. Why are you doing that? We're rallying the ball with each other. We have the same goal. No Mega Mushrooms in this mode. Which is
that's an awe moment if I've ever heard it.
Amiibo. We pick ourselves a character from Mega Battle against another opponent. Hey, wait a second. What? Yep, this is just a single-player-oriented version of Mega Battle. It's for true Mega Battle Gex fans only. Go up against an opponent, beat them, go up against another one, beat them, go up against another one.
And then what?
I don't remember. It's just a never-ending endurance mode until you lose against somebody. Basically, this game's excuse for a single-player offering. Of course, the farther you go, the more coins you get. That's right, Mario Tennis Ultra Smash has an economy.
And Mega Battle.
Now, you can use an amiibo figure in this mode as your partner. For some reason, you can't just have another player play with you or a standard CPU. It has to be an amiibo. So, crack out your Animal Crossing amiibo, try scanning them, realize the game only works with certain Mario amiibo, sulk, enter your pockets, scan amiibo. With that being said, the gold Mario amiibo works and gives you a gold Mario in the game. Now, Silver Mario doesn't give you a Silver Mario, obviously, f*** 'em. You must train your amiibo. It will level up the more you play with it, and you can teach it some certain skills. See, I like this concept, but it's ripped off directly from Super Smash Bros. Smash for Wii U and 3DS allowed you to scan an amiibo to fight with or against it to train it to fight like you. But see, Smash Bros. Is a pretty deep game. Everybody has a different fighting style of their own, so that makes sense. Training my Bowser Jr. to play tennis just like me, that doesn't. Nobody has a certain playstyle in Mario Tennis Ultra Smash. It's literally all just mashing a button when a glow spot appears.
It's mashing the button when glow.
It just feels like I'm playing with a computer.
Yeah.
Which is exactly what I'm doing.
Yeah.
It's Knockout Challenge. It's just Mega Battle.
It is.
Moving on to Classic Tennis. This is tennis without the Mega Mushrooms.
Alright, you know what? Basketball is f***ing strong. Alright, I don't f***ing need this. Alright, you, this, and tennis.
Classic Tennis gives us 2 options, simple mode or standard mode. Those are synonyms. Well, standard has the stinky-ass chance and jump shots where you have the glow things you just run around to. Simple is just tennis. You just hit the ball back and forth. So basically, standard mode is Mega Battle.
Yeah?
Without the Mega Mushrooms.
You.
And simple mode is more strategic and skillful, but boring in its own special way.
Yeah.
Well, we can play online. We have access to singles or doubles. We can play for fun if we're f***ing or play a serious match. We can play standard tennis or Mega Battle.
This game gets me.
We can even bring our amiibo online to play alongside us. And now all we have to do is find a match.
If only I had a friend.
Wait. Gex's Online wasn't this bad. What the f*** is this game? had it. You. This. Tennis.
So online, you can only play against random people and not friends, so that means we are completely dependent on who's
I don't
playing
think
this
Gex
right
has
now
online.
at this exact moment. You ever feel special that you're the only one playing Ultra Smash Online?
No.
Of course you don't, because I'm the only one playing Ultra Smash Online. The game's
You're
trailer
not
subtly suggests that
superior,
you can
he
play
says.
with friends. The term "play together"
I know I'm not
online
superior.
has been
Scott,
placed
don't
when
rub
you
in.
play with friends. Well, what about this little eyesore
Yeah.
right here? Well, this is the achievements and store section. You gotta have a store with an economy. We have 25
Yeah.
things to unlock by doing certain things. You know how old NES games would be notoriously hard, so then you'd be forced to play it longer even though the game had like barely much content to it at all? That's a neat quirk of Ultra Smash. It brings that back. We have to win against 15 opponents in a row in Knockout Challenge with every starting character. That is nearly 200 matches you have to win. And what do you get for doing that? The star version of that character. What's the star version of that character? I don't know. They look the exact same, they just have a tiny star in their portrait. After looking it up, a star character is a more powerful version of that original character. That's kind of dumb. I know that's something that's not new to Mario Tennis, but still, it's kind of dumb. But we can unlock more characters. Bowser Jr., Dry Bowser, Sprixie Princess, Cleveland. Cleveland and Sprixie are new to Mario Tennis, joining Rosalina, who's also new on the starting roster. I really like Rosalina in this game, how she floats around. I don't know if that was just a lucky decision to make, so they didn't have to animate her walking, but it looks cool and fits her character. Sprixie was from Super Mario 3D World and is a really fun and cool addition. I like when they pull from the latest Mario titles for new characters instead of relying on the same old, same old. And it's really odd to me that Grover hasn't been in a Mario Tennis game before this, but
That's
she's
weird.
finally here. When you obtain the unlockable characters for the first time, you automatically get the star version of them. Which just goes to show how dumb having a star version is in the first place. And then there are the extra courts we can unlock. Please, I would like some variety, thank you. Simply playing more and more matches won't
How
unlock different
about
courts,
no?
and the only difference between them is the look and texture of the floor. Carpet, mushroom, sand, ice.
Okay, sorry about that.
Rebound
Yep.
and morph. Can
Uh-huh.
Tennis Ultra Smash without carpet, mushroom,
Yep.
sand, ice, rebound, and morph.
Yeah,
It's
I
almost
remember
interesting when it does
those.
morph simply because it'll morph into different textures already in the game. Rebound's kind of garbage, but so is the game, so it fits. It'll immediately make the ball
But
fly
on
in the
T-
direction it lands on, which is interesting. Did I just say that? Everything else? Okay. To be honest, while the
Everything
ball
else?
speed and bouncing properties change between each different court texture, most of them, I can barely tell a difference. The different styles I choose between mostly depend on whatever I feel like looking at that day,
Yeah.
not necessarily the ball speed and bounce. Of course, if we look
Balls.
at the other Mario Tennis games and see how they all had elaborate court designs with interesting and fun gimmicks based on other Mario titles, as well as a standard stadium with texture differences, you may ask, why doesn't this game have good courts like these? And to answer that, this game had to come out in the holiday of 2015, no exceptions. We have Sand Court, you're asking for a lot. We can unlock higher CPU difficulties in an amiibo training mode. I mean, having these unlockables, that gives us some incentive to play more Mega Battles.
I don't need an incentive to play
Yeah,
Mega
he
Battle.
doesn't need.
It's Mega Battle.
But we don't necessarily have to complete the tasks the game is asking us to complete to unlock these things. We can just unlock them with the coins we earned. Don't you love how to unlock the pro difficulty it costs 5,000 coins, but then for the difficulty right above it, it's 30,000? Alright. What else? Does the electronic manual count as a mode?
So that's Mario Tennis Ultra Smash, and overall, it's bad tennis.
With Mega Battle.
Such a classic Gex move. Makes you think it's not Gex, then comes out and says, I'm a bad tennis game. It's right. Gex is a terrible tennis
Ah,
game.
yes,
Yeah, that
my
was a Nintendo
the
public game in
one of the
2016.
worst games in all of
We should wrap
gaming.
things up by
Gex
giving
Tennis.
just a little overview on
Damn.
everything Mario Tennis Ultra Smash has to offer. That's it. I remember
Mega
reading
Battle?
an interview with the developers of Mario Tennis Ultra Smash. There they stated they wanted to go back to the roots of Mario Tennis. And that is code for, here's a lazy excuse as to why this game has less content than the Nintendo 64 one. I could say this is one of the worst Nintendo games ever created. And but is it simply because it has barely 20 minutes worth of content and was obviously rushed out just to get something Mario related out on Wii U that holiday? Is it because this game adds absolutely nothing to the Mario Tennis series and strips out anything and everything memorable or fun from the past games? Is it because the main gimmick of the game adds absolutely nothing but an obtrusive cutscene to matches? Is it because they could have added content to the game via free software updates after the game released but just gave up and barely mentioned it after the game launched? Is it because there's only one stadium in the game with lazy textures added to give the half-assed illusion of multiple arenas? Is it because it was $50 when it could have very easily been a $15 eShop download? Is it because even disregarding the lack of content, modes, and everything, the core gameplay is just pretty boring? Yes, but was this game ever really meant to be anything but all of that? I mean, the demo they showed off at E3 2015, it was pretty much the final game. I'm not making excuses for this thing. It's absolutely one of the laziest and most soulless games I've ever played from a major publisher. It's absolutely worse than Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival because, say what you will about that,
but I felt the developers actually kind of cared. It functions fine, but that's not impressive at all. It's tennis. It's like they put together all the words they were going to use in an essay for school. I mean, these were some stellar words. If they formed sentences with them, easy A+. But they never put them on the paper, or in order that would make any grammatical sense. Either this game was supposed to be a legitimate Mario Tennis game and they scrapped everything that would require actual development to ship it out at the last minute, or this was always meant to be just a simple tech demo of Mario Tennis in HD, and then they would just reuse the assets to make an actual Mario Tennis game later. I don't know. I would love to find out what happened to this game in the background, but it'll never make it not totally never not bad.
Well, you know what they say, if you play 2 bad video games for children, you're bound to end up in therapy somehow.
Actually, I played 3.
Wait. No. No. That's impossible. You don't mean...
He means
No.
it. Mm-hmm.
No!
Mm-hmm.
No! 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 No!
So this may be the worst game I've ever played in my life, but what about the final terrible
Yeah, what's
Nintendo
the
game
final
released in
one?
2015?
Like,
This was a
couldn't
previous
be
game that released right
Shibu
outside of the
Robo
Info Festival in August
Shiplash.
and it absolutely murdered a series I've always had a soft spot for. So let's try out Mario Party, the top 100. This released 2 years later and is not in the running. Why is the floor wet?
Nani? All of the world is shaking in fear of this music. And that was the moment that every human screamed out in fear. And that was the moment every human screamed out in fear all at once. And then if you want to see how this saga ends, just react to my other video or watch TV Robo The Blast, the Darkest Age of Nintendo. If you haven't, okay, I'm out.